Hammered that Yamatanuki though, he wanted it. So I'll show you why I caught this fish and why it was over there. It's a little bit faster current here. It's a little one. But there's a tree over there and there's shade over there. Right over there, there's shade. And all I did was fire it under that shade, and as soon as it hit the water, wham, he cracked it. Let's see if there's another one over there. Putting a little movement on this. I'm not quite sure how to use it, you know. I have ideas, but I'm just testing this bait, you know, seeing where it excels at, with what rig and where at. Takes time, lots of time to test these baits. If you think you're just going to go buy a bait and just start throwing it and catching fish, that's not the way it works. You got to work it, you got to learn it, you got to feel it. It takes a lot of time, and but the thing about that is, once you learn it, you have it. So right now, what I'm doing is this is a little bit faster water. There's rocks, there's scattered rocks and bigger rocks all through here. I'm just drifting down through here. I got a Senko on. I'm just letting it bounce along the bottom really slow. I'm searching to see where those fish are, see if there's any out in that faster water. You know, so I'm going to eliminate water. I'm starting in faster water, then I work my way slow. I work the banks, caught one in shade, so we have kind of a, you know, first impression of there could be they could be relating to shade. So what I want to do is I want to eliminate water. So what I'm doing here, I know this place has held fish before, and I'm just testing to see if they're sitting out there behind rocks. I'm just letting that Senko drift down. You can do that with, you know, multiple baits. You can do that with tubes. You can do that with that Yamatanuki I was using. You can do that with a swim bait. You can do it with any soft plastic, any crankbait, any of that kind of stuff. And then you just kind of just like you're covering area. You know, people talk about covering. You know, you talk about covering area. For me, this is the most natural way to cover, and I'll just keep casting and just let it drift naturally. It's almost, you know, do nothing, catch more. It's that simple. You just cast out and just let it drift. And then I'm just testing to see if these fish are out here. If they're out here, one of them's going to grab it. You know, the current here, it's moving like a conveyor belt. It's just bringing the food down to the fish. And when you find out where they like to sit, like if you look at the bubbles here on top of the water, these bubbles here, and just watch how they flow down the river. And that'll tell you which way the food's flowing too. And that's where you want to, you know, target your casts into that where the current's pushing. So in the summer here, you know, after post spawn's over, you can come out middle of the day. Sun's the highest it is in the day. You know, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You only have a couple hours to get out. You want to get out here. It's a good time. The fish need to eat in a river. Like their metabolism, they're constantly moving. They need to keep that up. As the water warms up, the fish have to keep eating. So middle of the day, sun's blaring, you can catch fish. Come out, give it a shot. Because they're biting most of the time in the summertime. The little fish here. You know, the size of fish, it really doesn't matter if you're catching fish. Like, you know, this time it might be this size fish in that spot. The next time it might be a 19-incher. Like, you never know. But if you're catching fish, you're doing the right thing. Even if they're small, just keep working at it. You know, just a little guy, but that's one of the things about fishing. If you're catching fish, you're doing something right. Size will come as you learn a little bit more detail, like which rock to cast behind, you know, which seam to hit, and that stuff will take care of itself. But if you're out here and you're just catching fish, little ones or not, I mean, you're doing something right, and that's the first start. Like, you want to catch fish. You know, once you get that first one off the board, size is secondary. So don't think just because you're catching a bunch of little ones. At that particular time, there's just little fish in that area. So, you know, you might go back to that area in 2 weeks or 2 months, whenever, 2 years even, whatever, and you might get into a group of bigger ones. And but if you're catching fish, you're fishing the right spots. Size is secondary, really. Real nice. Hammer that content. Guys, he's not happy. Oh yeah, there we go. Right in the corner of the mouth. Beautiful. Beautiful Kiski fish. Look at that thing. Thanks, buddy. So right now we're working upstream, of course. The fish are facing upstream, waiting for something to float down. So on the far bank, there's little pockets of slow water eddies, little you know, slow water where they can go in and they can hide. So what I'm doing is I'm casting to those eddies, letting the bait drift past, and seeing if those fish are going to come out and grab it. That's usually what they do. They ambush. So they'll be behind a rock over one of those slow pockets of water, which the eddy, and then they come out and they'll grab something. So that's what I'm trying to do with this swim bait. I'm just throwing it over there, letting it drift down, and seeing if they'll pick it off as it floats by. Working nice and slow. Just keep letting it drift. Watch the current, watch the bubbles. Look and see where the current's pushing, and that's where you want to put your bait. So if you can't reach the side, you know, make a little bit of a move to get to that bank. So I'm going to walk out just a little bit further here. So that rock over there, you can see the eddies on the bank. It's moving a little bit slower, and then behind the rock there's an eddy. So that's why you want to just keep casting to it, you know, as you're walking up the river when you find a spot like that. And, you know, like I said, it might be the angle. So if you get up above it and you drift down below it, you might get the strike. So just keep fishing it as you're walking, you know, and fishing other areas. So I'm going to cast up, you know, up this way, and I'll make a cast up here, and, you know, I might walk up a couple of feet while I'm fishing this. So I've changed my angle to that rock, and once I change my angle, I'll fire another one over there. Cast it over there, let it drift down at a different angle. That might be the ticket on catching a fish over there. It just might not have, the current might have not have taken it, passed it correctly the other way you were fishing. So, you know, just give it different angles, give it a different look at all times when you see a spot that you think there should be a fish.
That's usually how I fish.
Better fish. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Nice one with the big one. Again, that's a deep, deep hook for a swim bait. It's in his gut. That means he engulfed it, but he's like starving. A little one. Healthy though. Oh yeah, there we go. Long, skinny fish. That's a nice fish right there. Look how long that fish is. Beautiful fish. It's a good one to go. Back on. Nice one, dude. Wow, this guy was nuts. Moving. Yeah, buddy. Big. Oh, take a little drag there. I think it's a giant. I can't really tell you. Solid fish though. Runs back, he got a chunk taken out. Like something tried to eat him. I don't even know if that's a bass. Certainly not acting like a bass. Is that a trout? It's a big trout. Big rainbow. There's a big fish. What a beautiful rainbow. Beautiful rainbow. Look at that thing. What a fish. You just got a really nice rainbow trout. I mean, that's some of the stuff you can expect here in Pennsylvania when you come here and fish. You're fishing for bass, you catch a nice trout, or you catch a nice walleye, maybe a muskie if you're lucky. But fishing these rivers, you never know. You make these casts, and you have a big rainbow trout grab it in July, like late June. you don't expect that. So, you know, coming out here and fishing these rivers, you can sometimes hook into stuff you don't expect to catch. So we're here at the end of the day. Overall, it was a great day. We caught, over 20 fish, probably about 25 fish, a couple nice ones, a bonus rainbow trout, which was really big, probably about 20 inches. It was a good day. It was a good summer day out here. The size overall wasn't great, but still good enough. Great day, great day.